video, we're going to review just the function operations. So I'm just going to get right to it. And this is really like a review for like pre-calc students and up. Okay, so just really quickly, there are 4 major function operations. We have addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Okay, so the deal with function operations is that if we want to, like, this is a way to represent that we want to add 2 functions together, f of g of x. And what this literally means is you take f of x plus g of x. And similarly, so subtraction f minus g of x, we can write this as a shorthand to mean that we want to take f of x minus g of x. And so on and so forth goes with f times g of x and f over g of x. Of course, with f over g of x, if we break this into f of x over g of x, we assume that g of x cannot be 0. So I think it's just easiest just to get right into some examples with this. This is really my plan for this review. So there's a couple of different things that you can be asked to do with function operations. So one way would be I could say, what is f of g of x? And I could give you this slew of functions. So I have these 4 different functions here. Okay, so the cool thing about functions, the cool thing about functions is that, like this script, we know exactly what we're being asked to do. Okay, so what this means is by writing f plus g of x, I want to take f of x plus g of x. I just want to do that. And so I'm going to go into my list of functions. Here's f of x, 3x plus 1. So I'm going to write that down. 3x plus 1. And then g of x, boom, there you go, x squared minus 4. So I put parentheses around it so that my eyes can kind of tell the difference between the 2 functions. But are the parentheses really doing anything in this case? Not really. They're just kind of there as placeholders. So anyways, so now that I've written this all out, now it's just a matter of, all right, what else can I do? And in this case, there's not a whole lot I can do, but I can rewrite this in descending order, where I've got the x squared first, the 3x, and then minus 3. So in this case, that's it. That's all that you're being asked to do if you're asked to find f plus g of x. Now, a slightly related question would be to ask, what is f plus g of 3? Now, you know that the 3 means then that we want to put in the 3 for the x. So there's a couple different ways that this particular question can come up. In this first context that I'm showing you, f plus g of 3, the nice thing is that we already calculated what f plus g of x is. It is this, right? So if I know what f plus g of x is, which I do, right? It's right here, f plus g of x. Then when I'm asked to find f plus g of 3, that literally means just plug the 3 in. So plug the 3 into the x squared plus 3 times 3 minus 3. Man, that's a lot of 3's. So let's see, 9 plus 9 minus 3. So let's see, it's 18. I get 15. And so there's one way to do that. Now, let me flip the script a little and show you different ways that this type of question could come up. So now I've got g minus k of 1. Okay, so now I'm being asked to do this subtraction operation, but also I want to put 1 in for the x's. And unlike the last example, we have not calculated, we do not know what g minus k is, right? So another way that you can do this, if you don't know, what the result of those functions would be, is you can write this as g of 1 minus k of 1. So instead of writing g of x minus k of x, since there's a 1 in there, we're going to put a 1 in there. And so now what I'm going to do is where I had x's, I'm going to replace it with that 1 for both of these functions, and I'm going to do the subtraction. So this is going to come out to look like 1 squared minus 4. There is g of 1, right? 1 squared minus 4. So there's the first one. And then here's k, and I'm going to put in a 1 for all the x's. So this becomes 1 squared plus 6 times 1 plus 9. And so now there are no x's here, and really what I've got to do now is I've just got to evaluate these 2 different operations. So I've got to do 1 minus 4, so this first set of parentheses becomes negative 3. And then for this second set of parentheses, so this becomes 1 plus 6 plus 9, right? 1 plus 6 plus 9. So this all simplifies to negative 3 minus 16, which equals negative 19. So in this case, I just kind of plugged the numbers in and then I just kind of kept going from there. So this is another way that you can approach a problem like this. Okay, so now what about if I have h over f of x? Well, why don't you pause the video and try this if you are trying to review and just see what happens. Hit play when you think you are ready. Okay, so I'm going to take h of x over f of x. That is what this notation here means. It means to write these two things down. So I am going to write h of x, 3x squared plus 7x plus 2. And then f of x is 3x plus 1. And then I start to wonder. And I notice I can actually factor the top. All right, so let's see, how does this top factor? This would be plus 2, this would be plus 1. And gasp, wow, amazing. The 3x plus 1 cancels out, and this whole thing just reduces to x plus 2. So you want to watch out for things like this when you are doing different function operations, because anything kind of goes. Sometimes you could cancel something out, sometimes maybe you can't. It just kind of depends on the problem. And so you really just want to lean on all the mathematics that you know to kind of guide you of what next steps can you take to simplify. Okay, so next we've got can't speak, gh times x. So again, if you want to pause the video here, give it a try, hit play when you're ready. Okay, so I need to take g of x times h of x. So if I do that, that's x squared minus 4 is my g of x, and 3x squared plus 7x plus 2 is my h of x. So I just write it out, and now it's like, all right, what else can I do? And now I can see I can multiply all this together. So this is going to take a little bit of work. So this becomes 3x to the 4th plus 7x cubed plus 2x squared minus 12x squared minus 28x minus 8. And now it's just, is there anything I can simplify? So this whole thing will simplify to 3x to the 4th plus 7x cubed, let's see, minus 10x squared minus 28x minus 8. And yeah, so that's a little messy, but that's as far as we can really go with this problem. So we multiplied it out together, and that was the result. Okay, so for this last one, so now I have k over h of 1. So if you haven't tried one where you're just computing with a number, I highly recommend that you pause here, give this a try, hit play when you're ready. So what I want to do is I want to plug in 1 to both of these functions. So this becomes 1 squared plus 6 times 1 plus 9 on top. And then in the bottom I have 3 times 1 squared plus 7 times 1 plus 2. Okie dokie. So now I just got to work this out. So this becomes 1 plus 6 plus 9 on top. And then in the bottom, let's see, I have 3 plus 7 plus 2. So this becomes 16 over 12. And that will simplify. Let's see, I can divide the top and bottom by 4. So that becomes 4 over 3. And so that's as much as I can simplify that. And so that is just your crash course review into how function operations work. So hopefully that was, you know, just a nice little review for you. So you got any questions, you can always leave me a comment. I will talk to you guys next time.